say to you hello and welcome to Bumblehole. However, I didn't navigate very well at all. I followed a sign that said Bumblehole and it's brought me to the Netherton tunnel entry, which is down there. But behind me is this engine house, so we're going to take a quick look round there. There's no information plaques here. How will we find anything out?
We're going to look on Wikipedia.
We're at Cobb's Engine House, which is properly known as Windmill End Pumping Station, and it's an ancient monument and Grade 2 listed building from 1831.
Hi! That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see the mechanism up there. Probably did the pumping.
1831 or 1813? 1831, I think.
I guess that this concrete floor that I'm stood on probably wasn't concrete. It housed a stationary steam pump used to pump water from Windmill End colliery. It ceased work in 1928.
We've been at Bumblehole at Dudley now for about a week. We've done some awesome sightseeing and we've been to a local pub.
Its informal name is Pardoes.
And it's just packed with history. So take a look at that while we continue to look for the Bumblehole.
Good afternoon, my name's Tim, I'm licensed here at the Olde Swan. I'm in now my 40th year, but not continual service. I started here first in 1977. It's always been an interesting pub, this. When Mrs. Pardoes was alive, everything that took place in Netherton took place here, up in the club room. They used to raise money the year round, and then at Easter, every pensioner that lived in the parish was given a £10 note.
Oh wow.
It's been the Old Swan, the White Swan, the Old White Swan at various times in its history. And then from 1934 onwards, it's been known as Pardoes. That was when Mr. and Mrs. Pardoes moved in 1934. Mr. Pardoes died in 1952, but Mrs. Pardoes carried on and ran the pub until her death in 1984. As in the Black Country, most pubs are known by the licensee more so than the name of the pub. So this is remained as Pardoes. There's been a pub here since 1835. 1830 public houses came into existence. Prior to that you got inns, taverns, hotels, but not public houses. The Duke of Wellington introduced the Beer Acts, which allowed somebody to brew beer at the rear of their premises and sell it in the front, hence public house. The two cottages that were here that used to run that way were converted in 1835, or licensed in 1835, and then it been rebuilt in about 1865, thereabouts. If you own land in the Black Country, you only own the first 6 feet. Anything below that belongs to the Earl of Dudley. And the Earl of Dudley took the coal out, and so Netherton subsided. And the best part of it was all rebuilt in the 1860s. This was rebuilt in 1865. That ceiling is 1865. I think there's only 2 of those in the country. There's one in the Victoria and Albert Museum in one of their tea rooms, and there's that one.
plaque had been available, it probably would have said that there were factories and boatyards and coal mines and blast furnaces and timber yards and sawmills and ironworks and brick kilns that were all in this open space.
It probably will also tell us about all the different wildlife that we can see in this area.
The area around Bumble Hole has an active friends group called the Friends of Bumble Hole and Warrens Hall Local Nature Reserve. We'll put a link in the description below. The group was officially established in 1993 and it has a heap of local community and volunteer support, and it's just something really fantastic to get involved in the area.
Thanks for watching.